town. He's another fisherman. It doesn't say that he's a sea fisherman, but he's another fisherman nonetheless. He likes walking and he likes to have time off. To test their knowledge of the highway code and also their knowledge of downside to Martin's life, of course, because he writes in his own writings that he is a mad West Ham fan. Just continuing with more information about the event, we've got 116 entrants this year, which is well up on previous years. The competitors, as you can see down here, are doing a really good.
You good, you? Good, sir, you? Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, is that not a disadvantage for you double deckers? Yeah. Did you pick it or did we allocate this? Is it what you wanted out for competition or you like? Was it a bus you wanted out of the fleet today or are you not bothered? Best of luck, sir.
The bus carrying the number 52 on the front is the red line. Rotary also has motorcycling and like a flat. Surprisingly, with all that experience, personally I think you get I want to use the year compared to who is the organiser for anybody who's entering from First Manchester. To the retired Traffic Commissioner, and the third one of the team of National Stewards is Mike Morgan. Mike Morgan of the magazine and Mike Morgan of about 8 years. Apart from that, even for somebody who's not interested particularly in the bus driving business, it's an interesting magazine to read through. Stephen lives in East Houses with Lothian and drives for the Lothian Bus Company. That's the company he's worked for just over 3 years. To keep fit, and I think he likes cycling and gardening. This is his third year in the he's been here in the final. That's 36, Stephen the Brown. Worked out of the Merton depot. Stephen Fire, petition number 57. Here you were told. He's been 17 years working for London. Started something positive in the pilot in the 2008 and then separately in 2009 pairs of course this year. So that's 100 rounds better than now for Arriva North East, but in the past he's done European tours as well as UK tours. just on this Sunday in field house and right to the I think it tells me number 2. He goes on to say, I worked for a year driving a National Express coach, the stagecoach, and I've been with National Express, Simpson Road Depot, since March 2008. He said he's a very keen gardener, which I find very relaxing after a hard day on the coaches. He's a big fan of Doctor Who. down here on the walk, or alternatively you can get on the bus and get on any of our dedicated buses. That's the Metropolitan after the hotel. No doubt, all the ones that are the beach all of the drivers Peter Butterfield's driving the bus with the number 73 on the phone. Competitor number 74 is Jennifer Thompson. Jennifer drives for National Express and West Midlands. She's worked for 13 years. For 13 years she's worked for various garages in the area. And she likes spending time with the family. And they have two Siberian dogs. Jennifer has on the York Way depot for Waltham Transport. To know about the drivers and for the organisers to give that information out. So I would appeal just for next year, please, just on about personal details, obviously driving came again in 2009 and last year. So that's competitor number 77, Martin Sleeman. Express Dundee. patent license in August of 1998 for a credit notice, and one of its models is a great historic transport. So Leo will be discovered about 3 years ago, and he's driving both of those. Government or government education number 8.
Yeah, we I was told my next door was that my bus, but she got all of it back to
that quote, I didn't like that
I enjoyed it.
Patience, we've got there and we now have the results. You'll be pleased and I'm relieved that I've decided that I will say an awful lot less than I intended, so we can just crack on with the important things. And if there's any bits I've missed, then two colleagues on either side will pick them up as we go on. What I would like to do is just personally mention one or two people who've been key to today's competition. Alan and Keith for the design and layout of the course. Steve Mitchell for doing the number crunching for us. Andrew for the way he has once again laid out the trophies to make them really appealing. Bill for the administration for the competition. Tina and her first year as company secretary, and amongst many other things she's been in close liaison with the hotel. I think most important that we give a mention to today is the marshals. In all the years I've been coming to Blackpool, I cannot remember it having such a foul day to be spending 6 hours out there getting the wind and breaking off the sea. So can I ask you all to give special thank you. With that, I'm just going to go straight on and say a few words about Trevor Roberts, who said last night has kindly agreed to present the awards this afternoon. Trevor has been working in the bus industry since he was 18, and he tells me that was 37 years ago, but his career really took off when he became a depot manager in Flint in North Wales. And then to the seaside town of Brill for the Crossville subsidiary of the NBC. After completing the NBC management training scheme, Trevor worked in East Anglia before his first foray into the northwest, working for Ribble Buses based in Lancaster, a role which incidentally involved running bus services into Blackpool. Interesting that Trevor can truly say that working on buses is in his blood, because both his grandfathers and his father, his mother and an uncle have worked in the bus industry at some time going back to the 1920s. Trevor, after Lancaster, Trevor went back to North Wales before returning to the Northwest as operations director in 1987 with the municipal bus company at Rosendale. Then was off to Wigan as depot manager with Greater Manchester Buses, and a spell at Stagecoach Ribble based in Preston, when once again he found himself responsible for some services running into Blackpool and Fylde Coast. After 2 years with Stagecoach in Aberdeen, and then a brief period in Edinburgh, he went to Newport Transport as MD in 2001, and finally to Blackpool as MD 2 years ago. Clearly demonstrates Trevor's passion, enthusiasm and love for the bus industry. I don't think we could have any better person to do the presentations this afternoon. But before doing so, Trevor, I'd invite you to say a few words.
Thank you, Joe. Sounds like about time I retired. I've got all that lot to read out about me. Could I add my thanks, please, to you all for coming to Blackpool, welcome you to Blackpool, and hope you've enjoyed your weekend here. It has been tough conditions. I don't think it's the worst it's been. I think I've seen it a lot worse when I've cowered in the Metropole Cafe while you guys have been out on the prom, but it has certainly been challenging. There's been a lot of investment in Blackpool over the last couple of years, and I know you've had to struggle with that on the promenade. We've got the tower that's been redone, we've got Madame Tussauds, we've had the Sea Life, the Pleasure Beach, and of course there's the tramway that will be open next year. Hopefully by next year, when you join us, all those works will be completed and Blackpool can continue its role as the premier seaside resort in Britain. And my tribute to the dedicated team that actually organised Bus Driver of the Year, particularly to Joe, who chairs the committee, and thank them for organising this event as they do year in, year out. Bus Driver of the Year aims for a pleasurable competition to raise standards of passenger excellence, increase skills of drivers, and to promote pride in the job. It's certainly been a weekend of fun and friendship. Competitors and families from all over the UK mixing together, and certainly from the looks of concentration, if not agony, on some of the competitors' faces, skills have certainly been tested over the last 8 hours or so. I'd like to congratulate all the competitors for their efforts through the qualifying stages and having reached the final here in Blackpool this weekend. We have the best 116 drivers in the UK here who have proved their quality and their driving excellence through the difficulties of their daily work. It takes great care and commitment to retain a clean driving licence these days. I've been impressed by the professionalism of all the competitors, and I think this shows that throughout our industry there are many dedicated individuals serving our customers. I also hope that when you return, when you eventually get away from here, which I appreciate is late in the day, when you go back to your companies, you can encourage more of your colleagues to take part next year so that we can keep Bus Driver of the Year vibrant and going for many years to come. So, nothing further. Well done to everybody who's organised. Well done to the competitors. Now let's get on with the awards.
As we traditionally do, we'll start with the Vice President's Cup for the best presented vehicle in the competition. So again, can I ask Chris Heaps if you would say a few words and let us know who the owner vehicle is.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When Brian Constable inaugurated the Vice President's Cup some years ago, his intention was to raise the standard and quality of the vehicles being kindly loaned by the operators to enable BDOY to hold this event. In this, Brian has been spectacularly successful, so much so that it has become increasingly difficult, if not impossible, to determine the best presented vehicles. With perhaps only one exception, every bus this year has been prepared to a standard of which the industry can be proud and on which passengers would be pleased to travel. It follows, therefore, that I, with Brian's help, have had to be pernickety, fussy, in finding the smallest details to determine differences between the buses. The smallest blemish had to be looked for, variations in the colour of panels, even tatty advertisements. We had to look at things like that to distinguish between many of the buses. As last year, one vehicle was in showroom condition with a 61 registration. It says much for the trust shown in BDOY that Arriva Merseyside was willing to provide MX61ABY for use today, only a few days old. How many of you, if you bought a new car, would allow a lot of unknown people to drive it in the first week that you owned it? I pay special tribute to Arriva Merseyside for showing that trust in us, but one question is how far they have had to prepare it for today. Of the buses which have been in passenger use, we were particularly impressed by 4. Stagecoach Cumberland's PX11DNA, Blackpool Transport BF60 UVL, Arriva Liverpool Y228 CJW, a Y registered vehicle, and First Manchester's BD11 CFF. Finally, after much soul searching, we have made our decisions. And as a former traffic commissioner, I'm used to making decisions that are unpopular both with the industry and with the bus drivers, but somebody has to do it, and I know I will please one bus company, necessarily slightly upset, I hope, and not more than slightly the others. I propose that certificates of merit will be awarded to Arriva Merseyside, Stagecoach Cumberland, Blackpool Transport, and Arriva Liverpool. And this is a new concept of the certificate of merit, necessitated by the high qualities that we're now seeing. And it follows, if you've been listening to the other names, that I've decided to award the Vice President's Cup this year to First Manchester for its vehicle BD11 CFF. From supplying brand new vehicles. And during the next 12 months, I will be asking my colleagues on the BDOY board perhaps to set out the criteria we should adopt in future years in judging, and perhaps also to consider whether, say, 2 awards should be granted, 2 or 3, or say a brand new bus, a vehicle of up to 1 or 2 years old, and for an older vehicle. That's not decided, I've got to raise it with my colleagues, but the difficulties are arising because you operators are performing so well. Finally, I have to thank you all for providing not only so many, but so many wonderful vehicles. And if we have a touch, I think I do, I'll ask Trevor please to present it to a representative.
We've got a new way of presenting the trophies, and we're hoping by doing this we make it less obvious who the eventual winner is. So we hope it's a success, and if we do get it slightly wrong, then you rest assured we will get the trophies to the right people. So we'll start off with the best newcomer, who receives the Ticketer Shield and the cash award of £50. And this goes to Peter Diffie of Bournemouth. Next is the competitor in the most consecutive national finals, getting the Dawson Rental Shield and the £50 cash award, and this goes to Derek Brown of First Glasgow. If any friends or family want to take photographs, feel free to come forward. Don't try to take it from the back of the hall, just to look very well. We move on to the youngest national finalist, going out home with the Minstrel Group Shield and £50 cash award. This going to Patrick Quigg of First Glasgow. Going to the other end of the chain, the oldest national finalist, receiving the Gordon Asbury Cup and the £50 award, going to Rodney Curtis of Blackpool. We now move to the highest placed competitor from a municipal company, receiving the album trophy and the cheque for £500. This goes to Liam Wells of Ipswich Buses. We now have the second highest placed go-ahead competitor, receiving the go-ahead shield and the cheque for £250. The winner being Andrew Gadsby of Blackpool.
Does that make sense? Probably.
Now the second highest placed London Buses competitor, winning the London Buses Shield and a cheque for £250, along with the highest placed Go-Ahead Group competitor, receiving the Go-Ahead Trophy and a cheque for £500, going to Alfonso Carvalho. Next is the highest placed London Buses competitor, receiving the London Buses Cup. Cheque for £500 goes to, and I will apologise for mispronouncing his surname, Rafal.
Well done, Sam.
Rafal also gets the Best Driver CPC Knowledge Test result, receiving the Impact Training Solution Shield and £100 in cash. We now have the second highest placed National Express competitor, receiving the National Express plaque and the cheque for £250, with the winner being Darren Dunbar of National Express West. We now have the highest placed National Express competitor, receiving the National Express Trophy, cheque for £500, and also winning the Best Competitor from a depot in Scotland, receiving the Kathleen Stark Memorial Shield and £50 cash. Both going to John Black of National Express. Thank you. We now have the second highest placed Stagecoach competitor, winning the Stagecoach Shield and a cheque for £250. The winner being John Quarrell of Stagecoach Northwest. This is where things get slightly more difficult for me, juggling two sheets of paper, but I'm sure we'll get there. The highest placed stagecoach competitor receiving the stagecoach trophy and a cheque for £500, together with 5th place overall in the competition, receiving the Scania trophy, cheque for £150, and the McKenna Shield with a cash award of £100. And this goes to, or these awards go to James Wright of Stagecoach Oxford. Highest placed first group competitor receiving the first group shield, cheque for £250, together with being 4th placed in the competition, receiving the Optier trophy and a cheque for £300, and also the Go Skills Cup and a cheque for £200. They all go to Martin Sleeman of Australia. Receiving the Arriva Shield and a cheque for £250, together with being placed 3rd overall in the competition, receiving the Volvo Bus and Coach Cup, cheque for £500, the Best Impressions Trophy and a cheque for £250, together with the Coach and Bus Week Cup. These all go to John Birchall.
Well, he needs to get some of these down first.
It's customary at the end of the competition, President John Boxall will say a few words from the ardent done of presenting the trophies that he do John the courtesy of just sit in their seats for a wee while longer, that would be great. And we've also got copies of the score sheets to give out. Moving on to the highest placed Arriva competitor, receiving the Arriva trophy and a cheque for £500, together with being a runner-up in the competition and receiving the compact trophy, together with a cheque for £750. The Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers Union trophy, again and a cheque for £250, and the Motor Transport trophy. These awards going to Andrew Sykes. And also gets the Charles Fairley Shield. What's left on the table goes to the next person, who will run through and let you know what the winner receives. The winner receives, for the best competitor from a depot in Wales, receiving the Donald MacDonald Memorial Shield and a £50 cash award. Also, the highest placed first group competitor, receiving the first group trophy and a cheque for £500. And being the winner of the UK Bus Driver of the Year competition 2011, also goes home with the Coventry Trophy, donated by Coventry Road Accident Prevention Council, the Green Road Award and a cheque for £1,000, the Unite Trophy, a cheque for £500, and the John Boxall Medallion, donated by UK BDOY Council. And the winner is Derek Wright. someone from First Jewellery Management Team to accept the company award, being the Brian Evans Memorial Trophy, donated by Tangerine Trading.
Anybody else? Anybody else for anybody else? It's not that bad, is it? Right, you have to take these. Have you come to carry something?
There's a replica trophy here for John Black, so once the presentations are over, if you come down and collect it, that'd be good.
Joe, take them away. Okay.
Supermarket trophy.
Is that the main one? Yes.
With video wide. Whilst we're waiting for the photographs to finish, can I just ask, particularly the competitors, if there's any feedback they want to give us about the competition, things you maybe want us to consider doing differently, not making it easier, but doing it differently, or things you maybe want us to consider introducing to the competition, please let us know. And at the end, we will also at the very end, Andrew will tell you all about coming down and getting their boxes for the various trophies. That's it from me. Thank you all for coming along to the competition. I hope you've had an enjoyable couple of days. And I'll now hand over to John Vauxhall, our President, to say the closing words.
I'll make it very briefly. Can I thank Trevor Roberts for coming and presenting the awards? Made a breath of fresh air and super. Thanks very much for coming. And all the people being involved with the competition, each of which element, without them it couldn't go on. So they're all key present. Is the marshals, stewards, results office, supporters, sponsors, council, competitors, vehicle providers, etc., etc. Everybody, thanks very much for coming and taking part and providing the tremendous support you get. And could I, because last night the mention was made of Jack Lane, could I say today, it's Jack came to join the competition in the very early days, and without his tremendous support, it wouldn't be where it is today. And so can I, as President, pay personal tribute to Jack for the tremendous work he's put into the competition to get it to what it is today. So all I need to say is thanks again for everyone coming. Have a good journey home despite the horrible weather. So thanks everyone, and see you all.